Alright guys, remember how I said that I thought my neighbors were drugging and torturing me and they tried to murder me? I think what actually happened at that point was they were painting or renovating, and so there was a lot of banging and lots of things being said, and I thought they were talking about me, and I thought like the banging and the paint, which is crazy because some people paint for a living. So if people paint for a living, like it might have been smoke, it might have been paint, I'm not sure. Like people do still smoke, but it really isn't as bad now. Maybe that person's gone. I don't know. Like I still don't know what it was that happened, and it's still happening now. But I don't know if it's like cigarettes or people getting renovations because my place isn't luxury, right? Like no one wants. But people don't mind living here, so it's not a bad place. But it's not like you ideally would want to live here permanently. Some people would though, and that's totally fine, right? It's not like a bad place to live. It's better, like it's quite a nice apartment considering it's a low cost and it's not that expensive and it's not that big. It's not that bad. Like, I don't mind it, but but just to put food for thought there, I know like people will be like wondering, well, what was that about, right? Now I think what happened was it might have been like because it was very bad. Like I was, and there was one time I was choking on, I was bleeding. It was funny because I was doing America's Got Talent audition, and I was like the week before I was like gasping for air so bad and like screaming at the top of my lungs because well not at the top of my lungs you couldn't hear me but choking on like choking on polluted air so bad that my throat was bleeding, and so I thought I had cancer, so I went in to get it tested, and I think I didn't have cancer, but I was like thought it was cancer because it was so bad, right? But what I think, like, like the smoke is always there. Some of my neighbors smoke constantly, and they're always still smoking, and they smoke a lot. And like lately, it's been a little better, but maybe that person's gone away for a bit or something. I don't know, but it's not as bad. But it does get really bad sometimes. So I don't want to say it's not as bad, and then finally it gets really bad. But yeah, so it's not as bad like today per se, and then but like there are times where it's really bad. But I noticed I think maybe what is really bad is I'm very sensitive to any fumes, or any glue, or any drugs, or any smoke, and I know they smoke all kinds of stuff. Like you actually walk by some of their places and you smell serious amounts of smoke, right? So I know some of them do smoke a lot, and they smoke anything like crystal meth, um, cigarettes, cigars, pots, anything, things that I don't even know about because I don't know everything about drugs, right? Because I don't do them. So they smoke everything, right? So I know that's still there, but I think when it's really bad, I think like some of it was like really bad the one time. The only time I did this, but I was bleeding, my throat was bleeding because I was gasping for air so much. And I was like, oh my god, like, this is nuts. Like, how am I? And I had an America's Got Talent audition. And so the funny thing was, I think my voice might have been cut out for that audition. Like, I was like, you see my videos where I have the laryngitis. I said it was laryngitis, but it was because of that. So, so yeah, you see those videos. So I think what happened was, in the audition, I couldn't really sing. So I was like, my goodness, like, what am I going to do, right? It's like an America's Got Talent audition, right? So I was like, what am I going to do? I looked really, really good. I was like so nervous too, so it sucked because I was really nervous. But then I couldn't breathe and I was like gasping for air. So yeah, so and you know, I feel for people that are painters because I know for me, like obviously we need painters in the world. We love painters, and painters do such a good job sometimes that we love good painters, right? And some people paint murals, whatever, right? But in general, when somebody's painting, like I'm really bad, right? So and people move out of here all the time, right? And it's, like I said, it's not that bad of an apartment. Like I don't mind living here, but it's like people would rather live in a house than in an apartment most of the time, right? Or people would rather maybe some people are broke and have to leave something worse, right? So they leave, right? And it's an apartment, right? Like even if you live in the most luxurious apartment, people leave and move and go out of there all the time, right? So it's not like you can predict who's going to stay, who's not. But they always repaint the building, right? They always repaint the apartments, right? So then that paint fumes gets in here too. So I know drugs are a big part of it, and cigarettes and cigars and meth and all that, because I know I smell some people's places and it's really bad. But I think when it gets really, really bad is when somebody's moved out or when they're doing the new carpeting or whatever, then that's when it gets really bad, right? Anyway, so that whole thing about the murder thing, whatever, like it was really bad because I was choking like crazy and I couldn't breathe. And then they were making a lot of noise too. But I mean, I'm pretty sure my neighbors are nice and wouldn't do that. But I mean, I'm fine now, so I'm happy. But I'm worried when the next time is going to happen. But I think maybe I was mistaking the noise to be targeting me. But I don't think it was targeting me. I think it was actually just like they were making noise with each other. Anyway, thank you guys. Totally enjoyed the show, guys. Bye. I know.